It is today's leadoff question on Kansas Sports Chatter. We're joined with a Salina South football athlete, Armane Redmond. Armane, your question today: what do you remember about your first varsity game?
Um, so my first varsity game, I believe it was Derby. We played Derby in 2023, my freshman year. Um, I think it was like late game, maybe like the last offensive drive. It was like coach put me in. He told me get ready. So I was just ready. I was just grateful for the opportunity, and he put me in and just that last drive, I think it was three back-to-back negative plays, and then we ended up punting. So one thing I remember is that I got really sped up, and I just didn't know I guess how varsity was really like until that game.
What were your nerves like going in, either before the game started or especially when you knew you're going to go into the game? What were your nerves like?
Before the game, I was just thinking about just keeping my head down, just staying focused the entire game, and just watching the person ahead of me, which was Carson Power, running back. And my nerves before I went in, whenever he told me to go in, I was just like, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for this opportunity. And I was grateful for the opportunity that I got, and it was just a good, fun experience.
Have you ever rewatched that game? Do you go back and rewatch that first one?
I rewatched that a little bit. I just rewatched it a little bit ago, and I mean, I just wish I could have did more.
What are the I guess the obvious improvements that you have made since that first game?
Just I've put my head down, I've grinded, and just had a great time just in the off season in the weight room, just getting bigger and stronger and faster.
That is Armane Redmond with Salina South football, and that is our leadoff question. It is today's leadoff question with Salina South student athlete on the football team, Bronx Sitton. Bronx, your question today: what do you remember about your first varsity game?
Honestly, just first things first. I'd say it's really rough. We were going into Derby. It was my sophomore year. I was kind of undersized for my age, so going into Derby, it was lows and looking pretty good.
What were your nerves like?
They were pretty bad because going into Derby, just the atmosphere there. It's a really cool atmosphere, and going there, I think they won state the year before or something like that. But they've been pretty good every year.
At what point did you eventually settle in? What makes you kind of settle into games?
I kind of feel like I didn't really get many targets or anything like that. I was just playing fullback. But kind of settling in, I feel like just kind of getting a good, decent block there. I think that would help me settle in.
Did you ever visualize on how you kind of want that first game to go? Did you ever do that your sophomore year?
Yeah, kind of on the bus ride down there, I was thinking I was gonna, light it up, but that didn't end up happening. So
Overall, though, do you feel like you held your own in your first game?
I don't think so. I kind of got my number. They had me all game. It wasn't fun. I'll tell you that.
What improvements have you made since that game, Bronx?
I've really focused on getting stronger in the weight room, getting faster. Coach us preaching it, just stronger, faster, quicker, getting better every day. So it's kind of it.
Have you watched any highlights or any moments from that first game your sophomore year?
I watched a little bit of it, but I kind of try to stay away from it. Brings back some bad memories.
Fair enough. Moving on. Bronx, appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
That is Bronx Sitton with Salina South football, and that is our leadoff question. It is our leadoff question with Salina South, a student athlete on the football team, Jaxon Myers. Jaxon, what do you remember about your first varsity football game?
I remember I started at DB that year, my sophomore year. Uh, yeah, it's just a lot going on. It's a blur now, but yeah,
What were your nerves like going into that game?
they were through the roof. I was very nervous because we were going against a Derby at their stadium, so it was a lot of nerves going through.
What eventually gets you settled in, whether it's that game or even now? What gets you settled into a game?
Just like making a play. I remember like first quarter, it was like second down. A guy beat me, but I recovered. It was a bad ball, but I had a pass breakup and it kind of got me going.
Did you perform well in that game? Do you remember any of your highlights?
I think I did decent. I wouldn't say it was the best I could have performed.
Have you rewatched that game at all?
Not really. I watched it a little bit ago, but
What improvements have you made since that first game?
I made a lot of improvements, just grinding, asking coaches for help, what I could do to get better, and just grinding all season.
What are some of those things that they really kind of pointed out to you that you could get better at?
Just being a leader more, because the last couple of years we've been 0-9, so it was just we need leadership to like get us going.
That is Jaxon Myers with Salina South football with today's leadoff question.